Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Trusted News TV. I'm Dian Septiana here as the newscaster who is always ready to deliver the latest and factual news. Breaking news: amidst the rise of technology and the developing world, the issue of abuse cannot be ignored. This time, sad news comes from our beloved country, Indonesia, in the region of South Sulawesi, specifically in Goa. A man in Gowa beaten to death after allegedly raping disabled girl. Lately, residents of Gowa Regency, South Sulawesi were shocked by a video showing vigilante justice being carried out against a 47 years old. Become the target of resident wrath after being accused of abusing and raping disabled woman with the initial T in September 30th. Hit for 2 days in Chikoro and at the foot of the Mount Lepo Batang. The perpetrator hit and was found by residents 4 days later because he was hungry and came out of hiding. Customary punishment and residents' anger are suspected to be the background of this incident. Now we turn to my partner who is at the crime scene with the latest updates from Gowa, South Sulawesi. Devani, what can you tell us?
Thank you, Dian. I'm ready to report. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Devani Erista, and I'm the reporter today. Currently, I'm at the scene of a sexual harassment case that has recently been booming on various social platforms from Gowa, South Sulawesi. Right now, I'm with Miss Salwa. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning.
Thank you for agreeing to this interview. And do you consent to being recorded?
Yes, we can.
Could you please briefly outline the chronology of the sexual harassment case based on your knowledge without any personal identifiers?
So, as far as I know, 4 days before the drag incident, the rapist harassed and beat one of the residents here. And what made the resident most angry was because the victim has intellectual disability, and after 4 days of searching, the rapist was found. Because the residents were angry, they beat the rapist to death and dragged him for 5 kilometers.
What initial impacts have victims faced in similar cases, such as psychological trauma or social trauma?
The victim has serious injuries to the eyes from the beating, and I'm sure that even though the victim has intellectual disability, she also experienced a psychological trauma, as do all victims of abuse out there. And currently, the victim is still being treated in hospital.
Why do you think this harassment could happen?
In my opinion, it was because the rapist couldn't control himself, and the rapist himself had often committed crimes before and had been in and out of prison.
So, in your opinion, what is the most effective way to treat trauma in victims of sexual harassment?
The victim must be taken to a psychologist, of course, to treat the trauma, and support from family and people around her is also very necessary for the victim. And people around her should not talk about the incident to prevent opening wounds of the victim in the future.
Okay, I think that's enough. And thank you for your time and your response.
My pleasure.
We've just heard from Ms. Salwa about the initial response to this harassment incident at the scene of the incident. Authorities continue to investigate with no further details released yet. Back to Dian Septiana in the studio.
Thank you, Devani, for your report. That's all from Trusted News TV. Stay tuned for more factual news. I'm Dian Septiana. Thank you for watching.